welcome to another episode of Dark Skies Podcast, coming to you live from Los Angeles, California. And Happy New Year's to all my friends, family, community members, listeners, all around the world. Man, here in the United States. Yes, indeed, it's a brand new year. But we're well into season 4. Yes, we are. And today we're talking about, the space stone. And how could it be used to cause some of these effects that we are currently experiencing in today's reality? Well, the Mandela effect. Yes, indeed. We're going to cover it a little bit more as we dig deep to try to understand the mysteries of our universe and our lives. So, light them if you got them, strap in tight. We are going on a journey. Going into the Dark Skies Podcast. Yes. What a beautiful night to record. Yes. Got the whole family here. It's New Year's. Everybody's fat and nasty. Got some weight to lose. But it's all good. It's the best time of the year. It's a new beginning. And everybody just fired up, man. So it's hard to not be fired up when I look at the faces of my team members and it's a new year and we all are back. So let's get the introductions out the way. I'm your host, L.C. Graves. Mikey Knight's in the building. Jim right here, helping out with the sound levels. Jennifer on the ones and twos. Man, we're having fun today because it just feels good to be back. Every time you survive a year and you start off with another year, and hey, it's 2019. January. So yeah, we all starting off strong and feeling good about ourselves. And hey, that's a great sign for things to come, right? This year, to start off the year feeling good about yourself, feeling good about our chances, right? Well, I feel good about our chances of figuring out what's going on with this crazy reality that we're living in, this Mandela effect. And sometimes, when you study all of these crazy things, you kind of get pulled in all kinds of directions. And I always tell people that the Mandela effect covers every aspect of life, that we know: reality, time, space, history, people, our bodies, all kinds of things. And I always tell people that the Mandela effect is one of the hardest things to explain to people, especially people who are, not up on it. And some people are up on it but don't really understand it. So we try to make it understandable, make sense of the senseless. And to be honest with y'all, man, this has been crazy trying to figure it out. And it's not easy, especially when it covers so many different areas of reality and life. So one of the things I was doing at the end of last season and the beginning of season 4 was I was trying to find ways to relate the Mandela effect to something that's relatable, because at this point, it hadn't been anything that we could say ever happened like this in human history. And I always tell people that, the Mandela effect is the most important event in human history because it affects everybody, like it or not, know it or not. It's affecting you, it's all around, and it's dimensional changes, it's universal changes, and it's, really deep if you get into it. So it's like a rabbit hole, yes, and we're going deep down into it. Now, one way that I found is to best describe this crazy scenario is through movies, because a lot of movies were changed anyway, so we were watching movies, looking at the changes, and oh my God, I can't believe this. you know, from the Star Wars movies to, Field of Dreams. I mean, we could just go on and on and on. But anyway, you know, going back and watching movies, you just get overwhelmed, overcome. Just Mandela, 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 Mandela every day. All throughout your life, you see the changes, you experience the changes, you live in the changes. Well, we wanted to take a little break, so we went out and caught a movie, last year. And, the movie was Avengers Infinity War. Now, that movie was awesome. Everybody went to go see it. I think it was the number one movie of the year, maybe behind Black Panther. I mean, I'm not sure. But if so, they both are Marvel movies, from the Marvel Studios. But anyway, it's pretty incredible when I was sitting down watching the movies because inside this movie, they had something called the Infinity Stones. Now, of course, in order to understand the way these Infinity Stones work, you had to go back and watch all these Marvel movies, and that we did. We watched all of them from the first Avengers movies to Captain America, the first Avenger, all the Iron Man movies, all of the, the side movies, Doctor Strange, Guardians of the Galaxy, because all these movies were connected. And it's incredible the way the MCU works, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, basically what they did was they made a whole bunch of movies, and all of these movies were connected in some kind of way. And basically they brought them all together and, to a point. And the point was the Infinity War movie. And basically, it's like each movie told a story, and each story was connected to a much larger story. And I believe that this may have been the first time that anything like this has been, attempted. Now, we've had sequels in the past, 1, 2, 3, like Friday the 13th probably had 13 sequels. But, it wasn't like a universe. It wasn't like, Jason and then another werewolf movie and another this, and all of these movies. And then next thing you know, they're all connected in the same universe and, fighting it out. Well, anyway, basically this is what's happening in the MCU. All of these movies, the Iron Man movies, the Captain America movies, the Civil War, the Doctor Strange movies, all these movies are connected. And what connected them was these Infinity Stones. Each one of these stones was basically, involved in, one of these movies. The Guardians of the Galaxy, of course, were centered around the Power Stone. And the Space Stone actually was first introduced to us in the first Avenger, Captain America. And basically that's what the Red Skull was using to power his weapons. And of course, they ended up, losing it at the end. He got zapped away and whatever, and Captain America crashed, froze in ice, and all of that. Okay, now fast forward to the future. Now, the future, when Captain America basically thawed out the ice, and along with the Tesseract. Now, the Tesseract later on was discovered to be the Space Stone. But it's funny because in the movie, they had the Tesseract connected to a machine. Now, the machine wasn't a harness because I remember Samuel L. Jackson's character, Nick Fury, saying that, this is our job. This is what we do here. We harness energy from space, using the Tesseract. And I remember the doctor saying that, well, we don't have the harness. And I was looking at the actual machine that the Tesseract was connected to, and I was like, well, if it wasn't the harness, then what was it? They never actually explained what the Tesseract was actually hooked to at the very beginning when Loki was, transported from space and ended up, in the S.H.I.E.L.D. lab or headquarters or whatever. And that's where the movie started off, the Avenger movie. Okay, now with all of that happening, I was looking at the machine, and I have a picture of it up on our pen now. It's crazy because it just reminded me of the CERN machine, the Large Hadron Collider. And, basically how, they were, studying things, trying to lift the veil and, smashing particles and best to understand, the fabrics of space, time and space, and, how it works. Matter of fact, they were many times saying that the research done at CERN was, being done to better understand what the universe was like immediately after the Big Bang. So basically, they were doing Big Bangs, and calculating all of this data. Now, I'm not saying that that's exactly what they were doing in the Avenger movie, but if you look at some of the names on the research building, it seems like that's the type of research that they were doing. Then, you get into Ant-Man and Wasp, and they get into particle research and film particles. And, we get into all kinds of things that I've been studying in the Mandela effect. And every aspect of the Mandela effect can be found somewhere in the MCU, or, you can connect the MCU, the effects of these Infinity Stones to what's happening in our crazy reality that we're living in right now, that's changing and flipping right before our eyes. So basically what we wanted to do tonight was we wanted to try to see if we can connect the effects of the Space Stone, aka the Tesseract, to some of the effects that we're experiencing with some of these changes in our universe and our reality. So, man, we're going to take a quick break and we're going to come back. Today we're talking Space Stone, Avengers, Mandela effect, reality. Man, we're going deep, but this is what we do here. Harness energy from space. All right, y'all. You're listening to Dark Skies Podcast, coming to you live from Los Angeles, California. From the Bay to LA.
Money making Mitch, I'm on a mission. Out here getting money, all eyes on me. I can fuck around and have you missing. Prices on your head, toe tags on the feet. Money making Mitch, I'm on a mission. Out here getting money, all eyes on me. Look at all these diamonds, how they glisten. Rosaries, gold mouth full of gold teeth. Sucker for some bread and a shot of head. Was bucking at your head if I shot him dead. I don't do the legs or the waist down. I'm going for the kill, I don't waste rounds. I tell her face down and her ass up. I play the fast lane for them fast bucks. I'm popping perk 10s, I don't do the 30s. I drive around clean, but my record's dirty. Filled with felonies and them misdemeanors. A nigga tell on me, he gon' get the Nina. That Nina Ross, 9 milli, 10 shots. Yeah, I'm really putting on you red dots. That laser beam makes so I don't never miss. Fuck on the first date, but we don't never kiss. You tender dick niggas fall in love with thoughts. Since you pillow talk, tell her how I call the shots. Money making Mitch, I'm on a mission. Out here getting money, all eyes on me. I can fuck around and have you missing. Prices on your head, toe tags on the feet. Money making Mitch, I'm on a mission. Out here getting money, all eyes on me. Look at all these diamonds, how they glisten. Rosaries, gold mouth full of gold teeth. Now lay me down when I go to sleep. Praying to the Lord for my soul to keep. If a nigga dies right before I wait, strike this hussy down if she try to take. Try and take my money looking for the stash. I met her last night with a hook and ass. Never mind that, they don't stay long. I usually knock them off, then it's day gone. I'm usually on them blocks with it JP. I'm ducking from the cops and you J Reeds. You undercover niggas, undercover faggots. To you rap niggas, you ain't never had it. Lying in your raps, you ain't trap nigga. You ain't never shoot it up, no black nigga. You wasn't at the bottom where they can't see. I represent them blocks where you can't be. Money making Mitch, I'm on a mission. Out here getting money, all eyes on me. I can fuck around and have you missing. Prices on your head, toe tags on the feet. Money making Mitch, I'm on a mission. Out here getting money, all eyes on me. Look at all these diamonds, how they glisten. Rosaries, gold mouth full of gold teeth. Money making Mitch, I'm on a mission. Out here getting money, all eyes on me. I can fuck around and have you missing. Prices on your head, toe tags on the feet. Money making Mitch, I'm on a mission. Out here getting money, all eyes on me. Look at all these diamonds, how they glisten. Rosaries, gold mouth full of gold teeth.
Listening to Dark Skies podcast. Man.
Like pull that, they don't like to see you winning. They wanna see you in a penitentiary. I need me a little baby who gon' listen. Girl, I don't wanna be the one you ignorant. My mama told me, boy, make a decision. Right now I gotta keep a ton of vision. I need me a little baby who gon' listen. Girl, I don't wanna be the one you ignorant. Look cold that they don't like to see you winning. They wanna see you in a penitentiary. I need me a little baby who gon' listen. Girl, I don't wanna be the one you ignorant. My mama told me, boy, make a decision. Right now I gotta keep a ton of vision. They sending all my homies on a mission. And I ain't tryna miss out on these millions. I jumped up out the red, call that Valerie. I get in the girl I want, in the girl I want. She want me to say today, but I ain't got a cake. She wanna see me every day, she wanna be my baby. That money make me come and make me fornicate. On this shit, I need some toilet paper. Follow my player rules and we gon' be okay. On the real, I need a bitch who gon' cooperate. Like pull that, they don't like to see you winning. They wanna see you in a penitentiary. I need me a little baby who gon' listen. Girl, I don't wanna be the one you ignorant. My mama told me, boy, make a decision. Right now I gotta keep a ton of vision. I need me a little baby who gon' listen. Girl, I don't wanna be the one you ignorant. Look cold that they don't like to see you winning. They wanna see you in a penitentiary. I need me a little baby who gon' listen. Girl, I don't wanna be the one you ignorant. My mama told me, boy, make a decision. Right now I gotta keep a ton of vision. They sending all my homies on a mission. And I ain't tryna miss out on these millions. I told you niggas I gon' be that fucking nigga. Everything be good until you doing better than them. They wanna see a nigga shot, see me in the system. All you niggas out here poison like snake venom. Codeine in my liver, rockin' Balenciaga denim. I'm booted even when I'm sober, I don't need a jigger. They sending all my niggas on a fucking joint. I told that baby to come over cause I'm fucking horny. My mama told me, kitty nigga, son, keep it going. I'm thug to the bone, but I'm still her baby boy. Look who that boy, they hate to see you in a form. They miss when you was in that Yoda kicking doors. Like pull that, they don't like to see you winning. They wanna see you in a penitentiary. I need me a little baby who gon' listen. Girl, I don't wanna be the one you ignorant. My mama told me, boy, make a decision. Right now I gotta keep a ton of vision. I need me a little baby who gon' listen. Girl, I don't wanna be the one you ignorant. Look cold that they don't like to see you winning. They wanna see you in a penitentiary. I need me a little baby who gon' listen. Girl, I don't wanna be the one you ignorant. My mama told me, boy, make a decision. Right now I gotta keep a ton of vision. They sending all my homies on a mission. And I ain't tryna miss out on these millions.
Yeah, man, you listening to Dark Skies podcast, coming to you live from Los Angeles, California, from the Bay to LA. Man, which one you like better, the 50 Cent version or the Kodak Black? Me, I like the Kodak Black version. It's all good though. Tonight we're going into the night, we're talking mandela-effect, we're talking Avengers, we're talking Space Stone. Man, what does it all mean? Yeah. Could some of these effects be caused by something similar to an infinity stone? Who knows, man? This is kind of crazy to be honest with you. But the more you study it, the more you learn to accept crazy, because crazy is a part of reality now. And man, we're going crazy trying to figure this crazy stuff out. And talking to you live from Los Angeles, my whole team is here. We work real hard to try to come up with, cool theories and cool ideas and ways to explain them, because it's not easy, especially when you're talking about the Mandela effect, because one of the strangest parts about the Mandela effect is our location in space now. Now, me, I learned about space pretty much my whole life because I'm interested in space. I've always been interested in space since a child. I study stars, constellations, galaxies. I like to study planets and, moons and all kinds of stuff. So, yeah, I pretty much understood growing up that scientists often said that, the Earth, the sun, our star, was located in the Sagittarius arm of the Milky Way, which is our home galaxy. And then all of a sudden, one day, we wake up and, scientists are saying that we're on the Orion spur. Now, that's a completely different location in space. I mean, it's not like, you're moving next door or to the next city. I mean, that would be like moving to another country. I mean, the distance between the two locations from where we were and where we are now, is an effect, the Mandela effect. But also, it's an effect that I believe that could be, caused by something like a space stone, where Loki was transported from one point in space, to the SHIELD lab. Or how the Tesseract was used to open up a hole in the sky, a portal where, to another part of space where Thanos' army was able to come through and, invade New York. Now, all of these things happened in the movie, and I'm just saying that, the power of the space stone was basically, you could go anywhere in space, and I was just looking at the Mandela effect, and I was like, wow, it's like our entire solar system was moved, from one point of space to another point of space. And, now we're here. And it's crazy because, I remember growing up, looking up at the sky, and there were so many stars that, you had to make out the constellations. Now it's just the constellations. You can't really make out, a bunch of stars in the sky. The night sky is not filled with stars. And I was like, man, it's like we're in a different part of space or just a completely different place. And, as we start to study more and learn more about, our location in the Milky Way in this current reality, it's just, mind blowing because everything has been flipped upside down. It's different now. If we started out on the Sagittarius arm and then we ended up on Orion spur, then that's a massive move, So I'm like trying to figure out what could cause that, what type of force or power, and there's nothing known to man, that no man, this man don't know nothing that could, cause the Mandela effect. So of course, when I'm looking at these movies and I'm like, wow, the space stone could get that done. The space stone could move, the entire solar system if they wanted to. I mean, Thanos wiped out half of life in the universe, and the space stone had something to do with that, because all the stones were acting, in unison during the snap. So it's really crazy, man, when you really start to get into it and you start to ask yourself, man, what does this stuff mean? Is it really happening? I mean, not the movie, because I keep telling people I don't believe nobody's walking around with a gauntlet. I believe that, something is happening, and I'm trying to find a better way of explaining it so people can understand it, because this is beyond comprehension. It's not easy. It's not something that you can just wrap your head around. So I'm finna wrap my head around this break. Don't hide them if you got them, man. We're gonna be right back. You're listening to Dark Skies Podcast, coming to you live from Los Angeles, California. And man, we're trying to figure this stuff out, but we're doing it together. That's the best part. So stay with us.
This the real, this the real, this the real, this the real.
They do it all for the fame. Pay attention how you change. You know that I never change. Know that you feeling my pain. Yeah. 2016, I got locked in that cell and they ain't let me out. Money I'm talking, you know that I'm ballin', I'm hustling, I ain't ain't never seen a drop. Spending this cash, but I cannot forget to make sure all my niggas on. Spending this money, no question, do I think about it? I never say that I don't. Walk off alone when I talk on the phone. Dropping the price and you know that they on. Soon as we get it, you know that it's gone. I swear that we been at this shit for so long. Mama asked for something, I tell her no. She tell me I ain't shit and act like I'm wrong. I'm running that check up every time I'm gone. For Christmas, I swear I'ma buy you a home. I get on my knees and I pray on my own. Thanking the Lord that I'm here, I ain't gone. I pray the judge that Q come home. Chopper boy feel he all alone. You know I got money, but I'm in a hole. Scared I'ma die when I'm out on the road. Don't know how I'm feeling, don't know what I'm on. All they wanna do is ask for a loan. All this pain, man, I feel like I can't hold it. Gone off late, and you know that I be on. I ain't slipping, boy, you knowin' that I'm focused. Flight time, prime time, I'm ballin' hard sideline. Baby, I'm sorry, I ain't got time for the waste. On the road, yeah, I be gone every day. 2-100 to put myself around the face. It's time for real niggas and fake bitches to separate. I heard they speaking on my name. You better stay up in your lane. They do it up for the fame. You know I never change. I paid attention how you change. I'm never exposing my pain. I'm head first by my gang. I swear all we know is pain. Same nigga took your chain, try to kill me. Meet up the badge, you know I'm gon' split them. He be with them boys, they ain't no gorillas. It's on the roof for just me and my niggas. They fake as a bitch and I swear I don't feel them. We catch him, gon' stretch him, you know we gon' hit him. I stay with that poker, that joker, let's kill him. Free my hitters, man, the judge ain't bill him. They telling me that whole day got $1 million. I don't give a fuck, I ain't fuck from $1 million. I heard that bitch old man won't kill me. I'm sitting at the top, man, I guess I'm the villain. When you around me, ho, don't do no whisper. You say I act funny cause I keep my distance. When we be fucking, don't do no resistance. You know I go hard every time that I hit it. All this pain, man, I feel like I can't hold it. I can't swim, but I'm deep off in that ocean. I go to sleep in my drip. When I wake up, I just smile how I'm flexing. I know these niggas won't text me, wish they could kiss me. I thank the Lord that he blessed me. All this pain, man, I feel like I can't hold it. Gone off late, and you know that I be on. I ain't slipping, boy, you knowin' that I'm focused. Flight time, prime time, I'm ballin' hard sideline. Baby, I'm sorry, I ain't got time for the waste. On the road, yeah, I be gone every day. 2-100 to put myself around the fade. It's time for real niggas and fake bitches to separate. I heard they speaking on my name. You better stay up in your lane. They do it up for the fame. You know I never change. I paid attention how you change. I'm never exposing my pain. I'm head first by my gang. I swear all we know is pain. Same niggas took your chain, try to kill me. Beat up the badge, you know I'm gon' split them. He be with them boys, they ain't no gorillas. It's on the roof, it's just me and my niggas.
You're listening to Dark Skies Podcast, coming to you live from Los Angeles, California. Man, what a night. And we're getting through it beautifully. Thanks for joining us. We'll be right back.
But it ends in Hollywood divorce. Hollywood divorce.
And I'm a star. Yeah, and I don't have to go to Hollywood, cause Hollywood come through my neighborhood with cameras on. I really think they stealing from us like a sample song. I really wish one day we take it back like Hammer's home. The hurricane come and took my Louisiana home, and all I got in return was a darn country song. This old country wrong. Oh, but you're right if you just put a little ice on and cut your mic on, but you don't even write songs. But Hollywood make you spit like a python. I make Cobra, I'm so not sober, I'm high like a Hollywood. Coffee or soda, you can call me a roller. Hold up, your grill's glistening. Spent 100,000 on mine to feel different. What's the real sense of it? Bling bling, I know. And did you know I'm the creator of the term? I just straighten the perm. They let it sit too long, they just making it burn. Make a movie of our lifestyle, but they earn like a dead body burned on the mantelpiece. That's why I try not to lie and wax like it's candle grease. And I be the little nigga, cooler than antifreeze. Deep frost on your window pane. Lil Wayne, but in Hollywood it's Little Wayne. Don't make me none, so that's why I got a pre-numb. I do.
Starts off like a small town marriage. Lovely wife and life, baby carriage. Now all the stars have cars, success of course, but it ends in Hollywood divorce. Hollywood divorce.
A is for Adamsville, B is for born home. See if I give a fuck, if you like me, you know I don't. If she ain't got a good head on her, leave that hoe alone. If she do got some good head on her, let her sing a song. D is for what I serve, I don't be on no curb. She ain't no junkie neither, I ain't no dope dealer, but she keep coming back. 3 stacks, must be some crack. Put that pipe in her lap, she ain't know how to act. Now that I've got your undivided attention, I'm gonna say this and run under condition 1. Promise me you gon' stack, promise me you gon' ball, promise me you'll invest 3/4 of it all. For what? So your kids can have some cheese. Can get with it, get on your knees, cause wealth is the word. Riches round the corner from the curb. Don't like what I write, shoot me a bird.
10th grade, the way was paid for me and Dre to create. Like Dr. Frankenstein, the arts and crafts. Now could we make a difference? Antoine Patton and Andre Benjamin been jamming for you crabbing rap niggas and journalists that's quick to misprint public and private business, then retract back for deaf ears and think it's dismissed. Part 2, the sequel, all new cast. This ain't the same gang of nerds on the internet slandering your name behind that screen name. They're lame and their life is pretty plain. M&M's with no nuts won't show up face to face. Straight bitch made like puppies on the nipples of a mutt. Address it on a case by case basis like the judge. What about the lying asshole trying to plot? Or these niggas on the block who want the queen? Nigga, please. But even she can walk, we'll miss her. We ain't gon' fake it, but God don't make mistakes. Must be something bigger waiting.
Starts off like a small town marriage. Lovely wife and life, baby carriage. Now all the stars have cars, success of course, but it ends in Hollywood divorce. Hollywood divorce.
I do love you, but you hate me at the same time. Lights, camera, action, it's game time. Do you take this here as your lovely wife? To love her and cherish her for all your life? I solemnly swear to dare share and take you there. And me and you together, baby, we a lucky pair. It's been a long time, we walk a thin line. Others say they got you, but you've been mine. As I sit back and watch all the cat fights, domestic violence, is that right? But you love the dog, gave me the spotlight. And now I'm going up, showing up, blowing up. I never ever thought that we were separated all. But you played me like a game of football. Used to feed me, need me, dress me. Now it's so messy, straight cut out and left me.
Man, what a crazy, crazy night. But we're enjoying it. It's beautiful. It's not too cold tonight. Yesterday was freezing, people. But it might get cold later on for the unprepared. But we're going into the night. We're talking the Mandela-effect, the Space Stone, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and how these movies seem to connect. And the beautiful job that Marvel has done with the creation of this MCU. I mean, man, it must have taken a lot of planning and hard work to come up with such a elaborate universe of movies. And all superhero movies. It's pretty awesome. But when I look at it, you know, to see that they all seem to be centered around these Infinity Stones. And the one that I really focused in on today was the Space Stone, aka the Tesseract. Straight from Odin's vault. But it's crazy because the Tesseract, you know, gave its wielder the power to control space. And it didn't matter if it was a small amount of space, as in the amount of space that covers Loki's knife when he tried to stab Thanos, and he used the Space Stone to stop Loki's hand in the air where he couldn't move it. So, you know, he also used it in a battle with Doctor Strange to bring Doctor Strange closer. He also used it all throughout the movie when he was basically transporting himself from one place to another. So, you know, the Space Stone was instrumental in Thanos being able to, you know, quickly gather all the stones and, you know, and complete his mission, as he did at the end of the movie when he snapped his fingers and erased half of life in the universe. One snap, right? Using all the Infinity Stones in unison. Crazy, man. But anyway, but I just want to know who came up with the idea of the Infinity Stones and, you know, the stones that control, you know, a different aspect of our reality or the universe. Man, it's pretty crazy, especially when you think about how our universe has went through so many changes and, you know, what type of force or power you know, what a person would have to have in order to create the Mandela effect. I mean, because if you look at South America, you look at the world map, just look at the world map and, different places have been shifted. And I'll be like, man, how could you shift South America so far and nobody noticed? I mean, physically, mentally, your memory. I mean, how could something like that happen? Like, man, space stone, reality, mind stone, combination of all them, can make that happen. Can make a lot of these Mandela effects happen. I mean, so, man, especially when you start to combine them, space and time, space and reality, mind and time, soul and time, soul and space, you can transfer souls across space, and time. All these different things are affected in the Mandela effect, and that's why I find correlations in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the Mandela effect universe. And it's crazy because, this is art imitating life, life imitating art, however you want to put it. And it just mind-blowing when you really start to look at it, because our world is changing right before our eyes, and, we don't have no explanation for it. Now, you have very smart scientists, but unfortunately, they all work at CERN. In my reality, all the scientists were spread out in all their different countries and all their different, labs and working on all their own experiments. Now they're all together over there at the CERN working on one experiment. And they don't really tell you too much. Or they tell you, I guess, what they want you to know. I mean, because I researched CERN and I tried to understand, what's going on with the collider. And I have to believe that I have a little bit of comprehension when it comes to some of the things that they're saying. But it often blows my mind when I look at the world and what's happening to the world that we're living in every day. And, the changes that are happening are occurring. And are they currently happening? Or is it all over? Or are we still witnessing changes? It's hard to keep up because we're still looking at past changes. And, we have people that report new changes, or just maybe we're just now figuring them out. But the whole thing about it is, it's not easy. It's a hard task. But we tackling it, We accept the challenge here at Dark Skies Podcast, Mandela Effect community. Everybody around the world seemed to be curious because, this is going to lead to, like I said, the most important discovery in human history, multiple dimensions, multiple universes, multiple versions of us. I mean, in order for us to realize our full potential, we need to realize our place in all of this. And I think, Dark Skies have a part to play because we have really been digging and coming up with some incredible research, information, data, pictures, many different, there's authors and books and scientists out there that have incredible theories when it comes to not just this, but just stuff that's happening in our current reality. And it's just mind-blowing when I start to, take it all in to try to understand it better. Because if you think about the Mandela effect, you think about, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, right? All these movies and how they connect. And then you look at the Mandela effect and how all these different Mandela effects connect. And you say, wow, this is, it's incredible. But it's more than that. But it's hard to find words to, give it justice. Because we have a lot to learn as a human race. Our species seems to be young, but maybe we are older than we think. But at the same time, we have no knowledge of, our origin. Nobody truly understands where humans came from. I mean, they say they do, but there's a large universe out there, and it tells a much different story than the story that you know, we tell here on the third rock from the sun. So, with space and time and reality being affected, our minds, our bodies, our souls being shifted, I mean, and you ask yourself, what could cause this? We call it the Mandela effect, but it's more than Mandela. It affects all aspects of reality, our lives, our memories, our families. So, how can we best understand this? Well, we have to research. First of all, you have a past, and you have a past that's being told here. So me, I'm exploring a new world, a new California, a new United States, a new Earth, a new North America, South America. And as we do, life happens. So yeah, we record and we report on that too, because all of it is important. You can't just bury your head in the sand and think that things are going to go away, because while you're doing that, things are happening. And I would never bury my head in the sand anyway, because I'm too afraid that something will happen and I would put my head up and everything will be changed again. No, man, I want to keep up with the changes. I want to understand what's happening, not just to me, but to my family, to my loved ones, my friends, my neighbors. Because we're all in this together. And like I said, like it or not, or know it or not, life happens. And obviously it's happening on a much grander scale than ever imagined. Space, time, soul, bodies, minds, memories, history, books, movies, of all this stuff can be affected. The world map, the actual earth, everything's affected. The sun, where it's located, everything is affected. What could cause that? Because I've studied the effects. I know the effects. I know the Mandela effects. Hell, you can look at how many videos I've done. I know the Mandela effects. But I'm past the effects. I want to find out the cause. For every cause, there's an effect. For every effect, there's a cause. This is how the universe works. Balance. There's no such thing as just an effect. Something causes it. So we need to find out what's causing it. And then we can better wrap our head around the actual event. So this is where we're at now, people. I mean, and it doesn't get no easier. So my plan is to just keep pressing forward and keep trying to learn, keep researching, and, because not just my life on the line, but all our lives on the line. Our understanding of our lives is on the line. So this is what we're doing. So thanks for joining us. We're finna get ready for later on, because we got more shows coming up. I mean, the year started, season 4 is here, and 2019 is here. No more waiting. We're going in hard. But the whole crew is ready, willing, and able. It seems like we was made for this. Who knows? I think the sound levels on the Jim was saying on the last song was kind of off. So if that's true, I apologize for that. And like I said, we got more recording coming on later on. We record from multiple studios, so sometimes, Jim got to play doctor with the equipment. So it is what it is. But we got through another show, and I'm happy for that. So, from me, Elsie Grace, Mikey Max, Jim, the whole crew, we just want to say thank you for joining us. And, man, good night. Thanks for Jennifer helping out with the music tonight, too, She worked hard, her and Becky. So, the whole crew is, like I said, ready, because we actually got a lot of shows wrote and ready to go over the next couple of days. So if I was you, I would really keep my ear to the street. Catch us on YouTube or iHeartRadio, as well as Spreaker.com. I mean, we're all over the place. The people who are listening to us now have found ways to, stay with us, and we thank you for that. And our podcast continue to grow. We get beautiful comments from our friends in the YouTube family, as well as the iHeart family, friends on Facebook, Twitter. And, it just motivates us to keep going because, somebody got to do this. I mean, you can't just sit around and wait and hope things happen. You got to get out there and try to make them happen. So hopefully we are well on our way to doing that. Because one thing I want to make happen is I want to understand what's happening to us and, what's happening to our reality. And is this a continuing event or is it over? And what caused it? So all of these things, man, we're going to be looking forward to trying to figure out in the future. So every day brings us closer. So thank you for joining us. You've been listening to Dark Skies Podcast from LA. Man. And I also want to give a shout out to all my friends across the pond over in the UK, Poland, Germany, France. And also the East Coast of America, Tri-State area, Virginia, New York, Pennsylvania, my friends down in Florida, Carolinas, both Carolinas, Tennessee, Chicago. I love you all. I see you, Illinois. I love you. I love the entire state of Illinois. How's that? I got family up there. I love Illinois for real. So, y'all stay with us, man. We're going to keep doing this. Thanks for joining me, Texas. And we out, y'all. Good night, Canada.